All right, welcome traders. I'm Dean Jenkins, founder of FollowMeTrades.com, and this is the Follow Me Trades live trading room, where we're going to be here when the FOMC, the Fed Open Market Committee, announces their current rate moves and talks about a forecast for the future. So it's going to be interesting, and I'll be offering analysis as we go. But really good to be here. Glad to have you here. I offered a guest pass, invited people who aren't normally in my trading room. But this is a fun session, and I always look forward to doing this when we have the big Fed announcements. So welcome. Hey, Grayson, glad you're here. So if you're new to the Zoom webinar platform, you haven't been to a session before, look at the control panel, and you'll see there's a chat window there. And you can type in questions, make comments as we go. And I certainly welcome your dialogue, questions, your comments. Make it interactive. This is an informal session as we watch the market reaction to the FOMC here. But go ahead and locate that. Hey, Bernard, good to have you here. Just to make sure you can locate it and to get a sense of where everybody's at, go ahead and type in where you're calling from, city, state, country. We typically get people from all over the place. Hey, Richard, good to have you here. You'll notice in the, hey, Green Bay, Wisconsin, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Sweden, nice, New York, North Carolina, Seattle, Myrtle Beach. David, you're pretty close to me. I'm just south of Seattle, about an hour south in Olympia. Paul's driving in New Jersey on an iPad or a phone or something. Canada, Richard. New Hampshire. Very good. Tagore from Orlando. Phoenix. Well, I bet it's warmer in Phoenix than it is here in the Seattle area. It's cold. It's been getting down below freezing every night here in the 30s during the day. A little bit colder than usual. But we don't have all the snow that they got out east in the Midwest. Miles, Florida. Hey, Pavlos. Where are you calling in from? Are you still in Greece? Yep, very cool. Yeah, we miss you in some of the other sessions. I know you got different time zone and a day job and all those conflicts. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get rolling. Thanks for typing it in there. I'm glad you could locate the chat box. And again, as we get rolling here, I welcome your questions and your dialogue. Cincinnati, Walt, Lewis, Stockton. Just had a knee operation. Yeah, well, hope that went well, man. I'm glad to have you back. Yeah, very good. Okay, well, before we get started, again, I'm Dean Jenkins, founder of Follow Me Trades, if you're just logging in. And we got, just about a half hour before the big news comes out for the FOMC, so we got time here. And I do want to just, a quick disclaimer. Hey, I'm a trader, man. I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not giving financial advice. I trade my own account. I trade it live in front of people in our live trading room. And I call out trades that meet my criteria. I give analysis on the market. But whether any individual takes a trade, places an order, makes an investment, that's each individual's decision. Only you know what's appropriate for you, what your risk tolerance is, what's a good fit for your situation. There's no way I could know that. So I think that's fair. What I offer here is for education information purposes. I share what I'm doing, and each person then makes their own decision about whether that's a good fit or do something different. Fair enough? If you are new and you don't know who I am, I'm Dean. I'm Dean Jenkins. I've been investing and trading for about 20 years. I started getting into trading and investing when I worked for Intel Corporation when I first joined there in 1993, because they gave us incentive options and employee stock purchase, and that was just the start of the .com thing, right? And it split and doubled every year. And I thought, hey, this stock thing is good, and apparently I'm good at it because look at all this money I'm making. And so I started trading other internet and technology companies with mixed success. for a while there during the dot-com boom, you know, throw a dart and you do pretty well. But if you didn't have risk management, you were going to end up paying for that. I ended up getting an MBA from the University of Washington, and I got a little more serious about trading, started doing fundamental analysis on companies. Found that to be a very frustrating exercise. You know, great company, great earnings, great products, great management, and report comes out, stock would tank, you know, what's going on? I got mixed results with that. I ended up totally giving up on the market for a while. In 2007, I was lucky. I went to cash, got out before the big crash. But I couldn't stay away. You know, trading's too much fun. It's too interesting. And so I got back in after the recovery started and got into a couple of really good winning trades, like Bank of America, bought at $5. It went up to 12. And so I was like, you know, I was hooked, right? It's like, I like this, but I was totally stressed out because I didn't have any method to manage the trades. You know, should I get out now, take my profit? Is it going to go down? Is it going to keep going up? What do I do? What do I do? So I really got interested in technical trading in about 2010. Like most people getting started, I made a lot of mistakes and, you know, bought a lot of indicators and, you know, went down some false paths. I think that's a valuable part of our education as traders is to try stuff that doesn't work and to recognize that this actually is hard, right? Successful trading actually is kind of hard. It can be fun, but it takes some work. 2012, I finally settled on the system that I'm using today. So I've been using it about 5 years. Started getting consistent profits. Part of the big key there was getting a really good solid mentor. It was Bennett McDowell, the founder of traderscoach.com. And then 2 years ago, I launched my own company, followmetrades.com. After working with Bennett, I did some one-on-one coaching for him and his clients and started helping him with webinars and training and stuff. And then finally launched my own company again, 2015. Glad to hear you're normal, Bobby. Yeah. Have you had a losing trade too, Bobby? Did that happen to you? Did you buy an indicator that looked like it was going to be magic and it wasn't? A few. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So that's just a little bit about me. In case you're wondering, I believe in complete transparency in my trading and all my dealings, actually. Try to hold myself to a high standard, the same thing I would expect of others. And so here's my resume over the years as I really dialed in the trading method I'm using now. So year-on-year results, I believe in full transparency. So for the last 3 years, you can go look at the details of every single trade I took, the statistics on it, right? It's all there. A lot of people look at that and you know, send me 1,000 questions about it. One of the big questions people will ask me is, you know, hey, on Mattel, you said you traded it at $400. It's never traded at $400. Yeah, those are option contracts. I've got the notes out here in the, you know, I was in April 17, $31 put. So when I trade with options, I make those notes. I also believe I love trading with options, right? My preferred way to do it. I also believe that if I post results, they should be verifiable. So I've hired a CPA firm to verify. So they look at what I post on the website, and then I give them my brokerage statements. We've been doing this for 2 quarters now, and they audit them and publish a report and say whether I'm doing what I said I'm doing or not. I think that's important. There's a few people in our industry making claims they can't back up, and I don't want to be one of those people. All right, that's me. What we're going to do in this session is I'm going to review. I have a trade the news setup. It's really intraday, short term. I'll review it. I don't do much day trading anymore, but you know, when there's a good setup, it's pretty cool. And if we get one, I'll point it out today. Okay, we're going to watch the market reaction to the FOMC announcement. Look for any intraday trade setups. I'll demonstrate that trade. I don't even have a funded futures account, but I'll demonstrate it. Right. That's not my main thing. Is not intraday trading anymore. I trade longer time frame stocks and options primarily. But I'll point it out and we'll see if, you know, how it works out. We're going to discuss some more trades on larger time frames. I'll give you a couple of my current favorite trades right now. I'll share those with you. And we'll see if we can identify a few more. And I'll be happy to look at any symbols that you're interested in and offer my opinion. So yeah, stick around for the end, because that's when I'll do that at the end, is I'll analyze any symbols that you are interested in. It'll be fun. So current market situation, you know, today, hey, by the way, we're in a bull market. Have been all year. It's completely obvious now looking back. At no point during the year did it seem like it was really going to continue as long as it did it? That's, you know, welcome to trading, right? Rearview mirror is crystal clear. But we've done well this year. We beat last year's performance again on my website. We're just a little bit above last year, so hoping to book a few more good winners and push that up even higher. Not every trade wins. We have some losers too, but one of the things I learned in becoming a profitable trader was, you know, you got to have great trade setups. You got to have really good risk control. You got to keep your losers small, and you got to have great trade management so you can maximize the profit on all trades. And I think I've dialed in a pretty good system for that. So, you know, we do have losers. That's a reality, but we minimize the losses, keep them small, and the winners are proportionately bigger, and that keeps us pretty profitable. So I'm sharing my chart here. I'm going to turn my camera off so you can see the chart better. You don't need to see me. Hopefully that's out of the way now. So what I've got here, this is my intraday futures chart. Again, I'm not a big day trader. I'm trading primarily stock and options on larger time frames, but I do pay attention to the key futures markets. This is the S&P 500 on the right. In the middle is gold, and on the left is oil. I got 10-minute charts as kind of my default setting on the top row, and then range charts down on the bottom. So 10 minutes is not a good intraday trading time frame, but it's a good intraday trend indicator. So that's what I'm looking at. What's the intraday trend? For trading, if I were to place trades, it would be on this range chart. For ES, I like a 5-tick range. For gold, I like 8. And for oil, I like 8. Hey, Nkosi, so you got your hand up. If you got a question or a comment, type it in. Find that chat box there. It should be right next to that raise your hand button. And just go ahead and type in your question or your comment. All right. So, again, this is my chart setup. What we're going to do, oil doesn't react typically to the FOMC announcement. Gold and ES definitely can. Angela, do I trade Forex? No, I'll trade some currency ETFs, some bond ETFs, but no, I do not currently trade Forex. I can look at a chart. I can pull it up here on TradeStation and offer my opinion on the chart. Right, the same rules I use in trading, the same pattern setups. It doesn't matter what the instrument is. It could be Forex, can be futures, can be stocks. All right. So let's, we got time. We got about, 17 minutes until the announcement comes out. Let's, what do you guys think? I'm going to do a quick poll here. I'm gonna poll what you think the Fed's going to do. So first question I'm going to ask here is, I'm going to launch this poll. Okay. What do you think the Fed's going to do this time, this year? What's their announcement going to be for this year? Raise rates a 1/4 point, 1/2 point, stand pat, or you have no idea? All right, the answers are coming in. They're flooding in. Thanks for playing along. That makes it more interesting for everybody. Lots of answers coming in. We have a winner. We have a overwhelming majority opinion here for what the Fed's going to do this time. In second place is, I have no idea. I'll give it a few more minutes until the answers stop coming in, and then I'll display the results. Do I always use Ichimoku? Bernard's asking. Yeah, I really like it. I combine Ichimoku with Elliott Wave, very simple version of Elliott Wave. So I only really have 3 trade setups. I'm trying to catch a new impulsive move. I try to trade a correction or a continuation. So I use very simple Elliott Wave. None of the complex markups you'll see with some practitioners. But I overlay it with Ichimoku Cloud. I use Ichimoku Cloud as a trend verification and a projection of support and resistance areas. So yeah, I like Ichimoku a lot, and I use it. I don't rely on any one indicator, but rather I look at the overall picture, and I let a variety of analysis stack up and all point the same way and give me a high probability outcome. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the poll. Looks like the answers are slowing down, so I'll end it, and I should be able to share the results. Okay, there you can see it. So overwhelmingly, 66% of the people said the Fed will do a quarter-point raise this time, and that's what all the talking heads and all the smart people who write articles, that's what they think is going to happen. A few people, 6%, think we're going to get a half-point raise. I think that would surprise the market. 12% say they're going to stand pat. I think that would be a surprise because they've been signaling a rate increase all year. And 16% have no idea, which is a pretty good answer. Right? I don't know. And I'm going to go ahead and stop that. So that was fun. Thanks for, oops, there. That's fun to do. Ultimately, I don't care what the Fed does in terms of my trade. Of course, I care about interest rates and how it affects me personally and how it affects the economy. But in terms of trading, I don't care if they raise the rates or a half point or a quarter point or not at all. What I care about is the collective response of the market, the reality of what's happening. I never try to second guess what the market's going to do if this happens, if that happens. I don't have to second guess it because we got reality right in front of us on the charts. Hundreds of thousands of participants, and they are collectively voting. That's what Benjamin Graham said. In the short term, the market is a vote. It's a voting enterprise. It's a reaction of the participants to all known information. LaRon lost your connection. What was the poll winner? It was quarter point by a landslide. Chu, what's a range bar chart? So these are range bars. If you notice, I'll blow it up and see a little better. If you notice, every bar on here is exactly the same height from the the high to the low. Same thing, open, high, low, close. The high to the low in this is 5 ticks. So when price moves beyond 5 ticks, it paints a bar. It gives you the open, high, low, close, but it paints a new bar, and so on and so on. So what's nice about range charts is they show pure price movement, no time involved whatsoever. So it could take an hour for a bar to close, or it could take a fraction of a second. It shows pure price movement, which is really nice, right? So 5 ticks is a pretty good starting place for the ES based on how it moves. 8 ticks is pretty good for gold and oil. You bet, you. Happy to answer your question. All right, let's do one more poll just for fun. So we talked about what are they going to do this year. What do you think they're going to do next year? I'm going to launch it. There we go. What do you think the Fed, because they should be announcing something in this session here in December about next year. What do you think? 1 rate increase, 2, 3, 4, none? Have no idea. There's some people talking about 4, right? 3 seems to be what you hear in the press. I don't want to influence your voting, though. Wow, we've got normally distributed data. I like statistics. I'm kind of a math geek. Okay, a lot of votes coming in. Over half the people who are in here have voted. Appreciate your participation. I'm going to wait till it slows down, and then we'll go ahead and share the results. So this could turn out to be the smartest trading room in operation if we're right. We'll find out in about 10 minutes. Okay, so the results, the winner, 39%, 2 rate increases in 2018. You can see this normally distributed data. That is the center of the data. And 2 standard deviations away, 1 rate increase, and then on the other side, 3. Only 2 people think 4. couple of people say none, and a fair number have no idea, which is a fair answer, right? We're not mind readers, but it's fun. You know, we all have an opinion. All right, thanks for playing. Let me talk about the trade setup that I look for when there's big news. You know, the FOMC thing is big news. Sometimes economic reports can be big news. So what I look for in a short setup, I look for an initial move after the news. So, you know, this is the move that happened when some kind of big news came out. This is on the E-mini chart. And then, so when there's a big move, I don't chase trends. You don't try and catch a falling knife. You don't try and chase it, right? Because big moves typically correct. So then I look for a retracement. After a big move, a retracement to a Fibonacci zone of about 38.2 to 61.8. That's nice. Then I look for, I use Dow theory in my trading, low, lower high, new low, right? And then we enter on the new low. It can be aggressively up here. It's a small move, or conservatively down here. But then we try to catch. This is the continuation that is, in my opinion, pretty tradable. Now, not all the time will you get this. Will you get an impulsive move, a correction, and then a signal for the continuation? If you don't get it, then this setup's not working. There may not be a trade, but when you do get it, it's pretty powerful. And so I watch for this pretty closely. We'll watch now. Christopher, got your hand up there. If you got a question, use the chat window and type it in there. I'd be happy to field your question or just respond to any comment you have. So that's the short trade setup. Looks exactly the same for long. So big initial move after some news. There's a retracement, Fibonacci retracement. Once we get to big news, we'll throw some Fibonacci retracement lines up and see about our retracement zone. And then, boom, new entry. That's a conservative entry. An aggressive entry would be here high, higher low, new high. This one, it can fail at the previous highs, why this is a more conservative entry. And then, boom, there's your trade. So that's what I look for. Again, I think, excuse me. For the announcement, I'm going to be using the range charts. I'm going to be looking at the 5 tick for the ES and the 8 tick for gold. I think you need great trade setups to be a consistently profitable trader. There's 3 key elements. I think you need great trade setups with high probability outcomes, good reward potential, good reward to risk ratio. You got to have risk management. You got to control the downside. You got to know how much you're willing to lose before you go into the trade, and have that be a reasonable and controlled amount. You got to have a method to manage the trade. You know, when are you going to take profit? How are you going to trail your stops? When are you going to get out? I think you got to have all 3 of these components to be a consistently profitable trader. All right, so we got about 7 minutes until the announcement. So again, I'll be looking for those setups here on these range charts, and I'll point it out as we go. Again, 5 tick on the E-mini, 8 tick on gold. What I'm going to do, I talked about it earlier. I know people logged in later. We're going to watch just for a short-term move here after the FOMC announcement. And I'm not a day trader. I don't even have a funded futures account at this point. But if there's a trade setup here, I'll point it out. It's pretty fun. That method that I pointed out is very similar to the setup I use on long-term time frames. So I'll point it out. We'll see if it works out. I primarily trade longer time frames. I'll share a trade with you right now that I like, that we're in. It's a pretty good one. It's Valiant. So we got long on Valiant at 1940 on Monday. That trade triggered for us on Monday, and we're in about 18% profit. I wish they all moved this dramatically. You know, I can't claim that they do, but it sure is fun when they do, huh? We got a target up here at 3102. It'll pull back before, you know, price doesn't go in a straight line. It goes in higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. But we took our first profit already. Stops down here. New entry is still possible, right? It's got a good reward to risk. Here's the entry. Here's the stop. The distance from here to here is less than the distance from here up to this target. So that's looking pretty good. So there's a trade I like right now, is long on Valiant. All right, we got about 5 minutes. Boy, gold's had a nice rally today. Gold has been beaten up. I got a 10-minute chart here. Let's go look at a 60-minute chart. Um, the 60-minute chart on gold is a little ugly, isn't it? Right, over the last couple of weeks, really started down here late November, and it's been in a slide. Now you can see here's the first time we got a real meaningful close above the Ichimoku cloud. So that has meaning for me, right? We had a couple wicks above it here, but we got some closing bars above the Ichimoku cloud. And if we were to treat this as an impulsive move, which it is, we should treat it as an impulsive move down. We should be looking at least a correction, this 60-minute chart, correction between these two blue lines, Fibonacci retracement with a midpoint at about 1269. That's tradable on a 60-minute chart, 30-minute chart. Hold that trade for a few days to a week. That actually looks really good to me. So we don't want to take that trade going right into the FOMC announcement. That wouldn't be prudent, as G1 would say. But afterwards, I just might like that trade. So you want to look at crude. Well, the truth about oil. Let me tell you the truth about oil. I just heard a sermon last weekend said the truth is not always welcome. That's a truth, right? That's a truth. The truth is not always welcome. But the truth about oil, it is, in my opinion, untradeable right now. It's too chaotic. It's not an orderly market. Bipolar says Jew. That's right. Look at this. Look at this price movement. There's no pattern. This is random, chaotic movement. Now, there are times when oil gets a little more orderly, and I'm happy to trade it, and we have. But not now when it's just swinging around with 100% retracements and random movements. I need a little more structure before I want to trade that thing. Yes, sir. It does have a pattern here of a low, lower high, new low, right? But in the context of the bigger move, look at these swings, right? Huge move down, nearly 100% retracement. We may see this do it again, and then, yeah, I'm not crazy about this. We are about 2 minutes out, so I'll do some stocks for you. Be happy to offer my opinion on as many stocks as possible after we get through the announcement. Let's be ready for that. So any of you newsfeed junkies, you can let us know what the announcement is. I'm going to be watching the charts, so you tell me what they said. And Thomas, I think you're here. You're good at that, or anybody else? Get things right. Well, look how it's narrowing down into a wedge coming into the announcement right now. And we are 60 seconds out, 30 seconds out. Yeah, we're going to focus on. I'll shut this down. Let's just focus on the ES and gold for now. Bam! Look at gold. Now we have an impulsive move. Would you call that an impulsive move? I would. ES is going up too. That happened really fast. So from here, here's the Fibonacci. This is really where it moved. We got our retracement already. Let's see if it stays. If it goes down too deep, then it's off, man. It's no good. So I want to see a high, high or low, new high, and there would be an entry. If it gets up to here, I would like an entry right there, one tick above. One tick above. We'll color that my entry color, which is blue. If it does, my stop would be under this low right here. One tick under. So this trade just got, if it goes below there, it's invalidated. Let's keep watching. So ES really isn't having much of a reaction. It's mostly gold. No, and this is I'm just demonstrating a short-term trade intraday. I'm not personally taking it. I want to be clear with that. I'm just demonstrating a setup that you might want to, think about for the future for these kind of events. Now, if gold continues up, we talked about there may be a longer-term setup in gold. And I will definitely give specifics on that. And then if that looks good, I'll definitely be taking that with my money for sure. 0.25% as expected, Thomas says. Ray Moran says rates up 0.25 okay, up to 1.5, okay. 3 hikes in 18, which is kind of expected. So gold, we did not take that trade, right? It got disqualified, and it just went below the 76.4 for retracement. So no trade on gold. Short term, intraday. Our long-term trade on gold still might be looking. Yeah, ES really had no reaction at all, did it? That 60-minute chart on gold, I particularly like the fact that we could have a good correction starting up on gold. That looks pretty good. Let's see what happened to, I showed you Valiant. There's a couple bond ETF trades that I'm watching. They're not ready yet, but let's see what happened to them. I'm watching TLT. So this is the 20-plus year bond, long-term bond ETF. What I see here on this is, look at this impulsive move down. Wow, big drop here. This is impulsive. This is a wave 3 in Elliott speak. A perfect correction up into between these blue lines. This is a Fibonacci retracement zone. Perfect. And now we're looking for that continuation of that original down move to begin. We want to see it put in a new low below 122.42, and if it does, it's got a target down here at 113.96. But it's not. It's channeling, consolidating. We're quite a ways away from an entry there, so that's just a watch list trade, not one to take yet. Another bond ETF that I like is AGG. Same pattern, big move down, nice retracement, and now we're looking for an entry on this one at 108.84. It's not there either. ES moving now. So gold's kind of recovering a little bit. Remember, we did not get a trade on that. It did not meet the setup criteria. ES is powering up. Is it gonna put in a new high? Here's previous high earlier today. Is it gonna power up through that or stall? Do I monitor ticks, up volume, down volume, advanced decline? Frederick, no, I do not. I'm primarily interested in price. Price is the ultimate truth. And the patterns formed by price. Price and volume are the only truths in the market. Was I muted? I think I was muted. Sorry about that. I'm back. I'm back. So I'm pointing out electronic arts here. This is a short trade that we're trading in my live trading room. We got short here at 105. It pulled up a few and went right up. This white line's the 200 simple moving average. And it went right up to it and reversed beautifully. This has still got a really nice entry. Our target on EA is 90 bucks. Our stop, 110.53. Pretty much close to break even. This is a nice corrective wave, bearish pattern. Had this huge run up. Now it's heading down, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. Negative momentum under the Ichimoku cloud. Got a wave 4 correction zone right down here. This looks super. So I'm really liking this. We're trading this with I like options. We're trading that with a March $120 put. I think that's a good way to play that. You'll notice I go deep in the money, high delta, plenty of time out in front. That's how I pick options. Deep, high delta, deep in the money, plenty of time. I want to be out of that contract way before the last 30 days. Yeah, Ron, that's what we got. Three interest rates for 2018 or what's coming up here. That's the program. How are our futures markets doing here? So yes, look at that, went right up to the previous high and reversed pretty sharply. Look at gold heading up now too. You know, I do like this trade on gold. So it missed our intraday setup. That's fine. Let's look at the setup on the 60-minute chart here. So I would, again, I don't have a funded futures account. I trade stocks and options primarily. Let's look at this. Let's look at GLD. That's a great way to trade that. And you know, there's some 2x, 3x. There's the gold miners, right? But GLD moves pretty much in lockstep with gold. And I think we got on a 60-minute chart a decent setup forming up here. So let me set it up. So we got this big impulsive move down. We're trying to trade a correction to that. Let's see if we got some decent profit on this. Okay. So let's say we take our entry right now, current price, that's this blue line. Our stop is going to be under this consolidation area, this low right here. Okay. And our target is going to be at the midpoint, right as it hits that 200 SMA. That's going to be our target. So we've got a decent reward to risk on. It's not huge. That's not what I wanted. What's this? Horizontal line. Seriously? That must be part of a different fib analysis. So right here at the midpoint is our target. That's our target, so I'll make it green. So we've got about a 1.5 to 1. Here's the risk from the entry to the stop. The reward is the entry from the entry to the target. We got about a 1.5 to 1 reward to risk on this, so I like it. GDX similar and cheaper, but it's different, right? It's different. Hey Gene, glad to have you here. This momentum indicator is called the OWL Optimum Wave Locator. It is not available for TOS. I'm sorry about that. You know, Trader's Coach provides that. There is an alternative indicator that is close, and it is this. It's a price oscillator. That is available on TOS. Price oscillator is available. Yeah, Jean Francois, I think I say your name. Yeah, Ichimoku Cloud's definitely on my chart. Let's look at GDX just for fun. You know, and the fact that it's a cheaper price is sort of irrelevant to me. I use I have a risk management position sizing scheme, right? which limits the risk per trade, right? So the question is how much capital am I going to put in the trade, not how many shares, right? So GDX is already up into the zone here. So I like the GLD trade better. Yeah, price oscillator, Fernand, price oscillator, same on every platform. So what contract would I trade this with? I'm glad you asked. Short term, so we're on a 60-minute chart. We're probably going to be in this a few days to a week is what this trade looks like. I don't want to be in a contract in the last 30 days. Right? So let's pick something that's got at least 45 days left on it or more. UGLT for the hot doggers, yeah. You know, you want to be careful with some of those. You can trade pretty well with some of those 3x deals. You can also get hurt. And there's some different rules, and you have to know how they settle. And if not, you may be very disappointed. 37, so that's too close. So February, we're doing a call, and where there's plenty of open interest. This is a deeply traded instrument, obviously. So, you know, I want the February. I want to be high delta, highest delta possible without paying too much, deep in the money. Yeah, I kind of like that 114. 114's got a delta of 80. You can get it for the ask is 590, just went to 595, right? Bid's 580, so pretty tight. You can probably get it for, you know, 585, 590. So I like that to trade gold, GLD. Jean-Francois, how do I just choose what to trade? Yeah, I do have some screening tools that I use, some scanning tools. You know, I'm focused on stocks and options. I pay attention, you know, I want to make sure we're highly liquid. There's a good viable market for it. But I'm a technical trader. I'm looking for specific trade setups. I have a method to scan for that. I make sure I don't get too overloaded in individual sectors, right? And we pay attention to major news coming out, earnings announcements, drug announcements, all that kind of stuff. We don't want to be caught off guard by an M&A activity or, you know, something like that. So notice my main targets are options. Jeff, okay, call you. My main targets are options. Well, I established my target price based on price movement here, based on Fibonacci analysis. And then I look for an option to trade it with. Let's go back and look at the futures real quick, see what's going on there. And then we will get to your symbols, absolutely. Back up here, back up. Oil is just falling off a cliff, man. It's just falling off a cliff. Yeah, right now, untradeable for me. Again, we had a nice 60-minute setup here on gold. I showed the way I would trade that. ES, boy, it hit that few ticks before that previous high and just reversed like a monster. And it's hitting some real resistance. All right, hey, let me answer your question and we'll look at some symbols. I buy highest possible delta, how far do I go in time? So I don't buy the highest possible. I want a high delta. In that GDX example, we went at 80. 80 is a good, right? I can go higher, but you're going to start paying a lot, right? And there's a point where there's an inflection point where it kind of knees up, right? And implied volatility takes off. So I'm balancing the need for high delta so we can make profit on the thing with the actual price. So I'm trying to find a balance, and this is a good equilibrium point right here at the 114. That's what I'm thinking. And then like I said, I want at least 30 days left on the contract when I get out. Now we're trading GDX on a 60-minute chart. So we're going to be in it a few days to a week. So I went out into February, it's got 64 days left. If I was trading it on a daily chart, I probably would have went to March or April. I don't get into the region of the contract where time decay becomes an issue. I'm out. Okay. Somebody had asked about Amazon. So I'll start taking symbols. Happy to analyze as many of your trade ideas as I can. This is my sweet spot here. Stocks on daily charts. So Amazon, you know, what a beautiful trend. What a great company. Jeff Bezos is a genius. It's still in this uptrend, and I am a swing trader. I'm not a momentum trader. So when I see a beautiful long trend like this, you know, the next thing I'm interested in trading is the correction. I'm not going to chase this thing. I'm not a momentum trader. I'm a swing trader. I look to catch the big move early or to catch the correction. Now, it's not giving any sign of a correction, so there's no setup for me here. We would have to see it break down through the Ichimoku cloud, down through the 200, and then see if there's enough profit at that point. So it's a beautiful trend. Momentum traders love it. I'm a swing trader, so there's nothing there for me. Too early to short it, for sure. Right? Too early to try and short it. Good target for JPM. Let's see. You know, and let's see. All financials have had a great year, except Wells Fargo, right? This was actually 345. It's at the target zone now, based on the Elliott wave. So it's too late to go long for a swing trader. Too early to short for me, and I think it's at the target right now. MNDO for Laron. MNDO. Now this is interesting. Here's this big impulsive move down. I wonder if it's corrected enough. See, with big impulsive move down, I had a nice correction into the Fibonacci zone. Looks like, you know, the next move's down, but it's finding some support. And this thing, 24,000 shares traded today, a little thin, probably too thin. I'd like better liquidity to trade this. So, but just from a technical analysis, it's had its impulsive move, it's had a correction, probably heading down again. Low price thing, so typically in these lower priced stocks, right, this previous low may actually be an important support area, kind of like an asymptote in a calculus function, right, just below $2. So, you know, 269 to 2. I would wait for it to break the cloud, break to 200, but again, I'm not trading it. It's too thin for me. HD for John, Home Depot. Well, beautiful trend here. Kind of the same comment I made on the other ones. You know, great momentum trade. It's impulsive. It's too late. I'm not going to chase it, and it's too early to short. But boy, that's a great trend. I don't know if Larry's here. Larry's my momentum trader buddy. I don't know if Larry likes it. Looking, I don't see him. Nike. I'll give you a 2 for there, John. Yeah, kind of a mess, isn't it? It channeled in a very, it looks like oil. It looks like oil, right? A widening channel, then broke out. If you could treat this as an impulsive move, get a correction and then a continuation. So there's a few steps that have to happen before you can start. I could get excited about trading Nike. I don't really like that. Gilead, that's interesting that you bring Gilead up. We had Gilead as a pending, a potential trade to the downside. You know, look at this beautiful move down, perfect correction. We were looking for an entry on this at a new low of 70.93, taking out this support under the 200. It's gone up too high, so we may revisit it if it pulls back down. If it does pull back down to 70.93, we got a nice trade here. Got a nice trade, but right now it's getting pretty ahead of itself. It's above the 200, getting ready to break the cloud. So little, it ain't happening yet, but there could be a short lurking out in the future for Gilead. And if it would break down into new lows, it's got a nice target down here at 50.23. Gotta like that. Twitter, yeah, Twitter's been getting it kind of interesting lately. It's starting, you got to get a bigger picture here on it. There we go. So this big, huge, drop, tried to break out. It's been channeling down here at the bottom. Now we could get a big correction. If it can get some momentum going, it could get up to 29.75. I like it. I like it with a new high. It's had a couple fake outs. So let's see it get above here. Still got room. If it gets above here, our stop's going to be under this low. So we got a nice reward to risk. We got a target up here. Let's let Twitter break 22.72 and then think about a long on that one. That's my opinion. XPO, I think XPO is on my watch list. Oh, I got XOP. XOP, different deal. XPO. Hey, Laron, you're welcome. Beautiful trend. I'm a swing trader, not a trend trader. So it's too late to go long, too early to go short for me. How does rig look for a short? I'm never going to get all these symbols. 3, 4, 5. This could be a new trend up. It's got to break all this overhead stuff, but I would be looking for a potential long. So we already had the down move. 3 down, 4 up, 5 down. So maybe a new one there. GE, have we found a bottom in GE? Jeff, let's take a look. One of these days, well, no, we haven't. There's the textbook definition of a impulsive down move, right? If this were to correct, boop, 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 it's got a target. Midpoint, the target's 38.2 to 61.8, midpoint 24.91, all that under the 200, so it could, even fail to 200 and still be a pretty good trade. It's got to turn, right? We got a low, got a lower high, we didn't put in a new low, put in a new high here, come off that bottom, get some green momentum, break the cloud. There might be a trade if it can do all those things in the future in GE. It's got to come up one of these days, right? But it's not quite ready yet. I do not try to catch the absolute bottom. I want probability in my trades, right? Probability. I want a high return. I want a high reward to risk ratio, right? But I wait for proof, for an accumulation of evidence that the move we're looking for has actually begun, right? You could say, well, it's flattened out here. Yeah, flattened out here too, and then dropped, another $7, right? 30%. So there we go. Man, I'll never get to them all. I'm sorry. AMD. I see shop came up a couple times. Let's look at that first. Shopify. Boy, it wants to correct. Here, remember I looked at several. I said, too late to go long, too early to go short, right? That's what I would have said a few months ago. But now the correction's starting. Bam, bam, bam. It's in a pretty messy correction. But if it can take out new lows, it's probably going into this zone here. Then you would have to see when it broke, where would your stop be? Is there sufficient profit potential? And AMD, let's take a look at that. See, this is Shopify. This is what Shopify is probably going to look like a month or two from now. Exact same thing. Let's go back. Big, impressive move. Consolidation. but it's bearish, right? Losing momentum on the upside, gaining on the downside, got a nice target, right? Now, AMD's got the fulfillment of this going out into the target zone, right? Big impulsive move, messy correction, bam, down into the target zone. Beautiful. All right. Well, I want to leave you with a couple closing thoughts. I did give you a trade earlier. If you weren't here, I'll show you a trade we like. To the long side is Valiant. So when we're trading in the live trading room, so Valiant long, here it comes. Wait for it. Wow, I wonder what's going on with did I lose my connection? Penelope, you there? You hear me? Everybody else hear me okay? I'm back. Okay, I was panicking. I think we lost the internet there for just a little bit. All right, I'm back. Got my charts back. So yeah, AMD already in the target is the short story there. So Valiant is a nice long. We're trading this in the trading room. Let me show you this. So we got long on Valiant at 1940 on Monday. We're in about 15–16% profit. It's still got room to go. We took our first profit here, but new entries could make sense here. Here's the target. Here's the current stop, 1595. And then for a short, we like Electronic Arts. Pretty nice short here. We got short at 105. Went up a couple days, but it's pulling back. It hit the 200 and reversed. Hit it like a stone wall. Target's down here at 90 bucks, so that's a pretty nice trade. Stops up here at 110.53. Okay, well, let me leave you with a couple thoughts here. Right. Again, I think in order to be a consistently profitable trader, what you need is great probability outcomes, right? You need great setups, and you need good reward to risk ratios. I never want to go into a trade where I got the potential to lose more than I'm going to make. I need good risk management, a way to control loss on trades, and good trade management, so that we can get the most profit out of every single trade. We've been through several trades already. You know, I went pretty fast on those charts. I talked about quite a bit of information. You know, maybe you feel like this guy here with the fire hose. It's like, wow, that was a lot. You know, and what I'd like to do is offer, spend a few minutes going over a special offer for my trading room, right? Because what we're doing here today, analyzing the overall markets, looking for great trades, managing the existing trades, using a strict method for risk control. That's what we do every day in the trading room. So I'd like to offer you a 30-day trial in the trading room if you're not a member of it already. 37 bucks, right? That's 100% money back guarantee. 30 days, come check it out, and then it can renew at a discounted rate of 59 bucks, discount from the list price of 79. So there's a link I just posted. I just posted a link in the chat room. You lost me for a minute. Awesome. So yeah, I see my connection dropping in and out. That's wonderful. Ain't technology grand? So anyway, hey, here's an offer to join the live trading room. I'm not sure what you heard or didn't hear, but this is what we do every day. What we did here, we look for great trades. We analyze the market. We manage the existing trades. And so if you'd like to come check that out for 30 days, you can do it for 37 bucks, money back guarantee. Here's the link if you want to read more about the trading room. But basically, you know, the room hours, we're open for an hour and a half in the morning, Monday through Thursday. It starts at 6:15 a.m. Pacific time, which is 9:15 Eastern time. We're there for an hour and a half, right? And we take live trades in the trading room, and you can come check that out for 30 days for 37 bucks. So that's really it. let's go back and look at the futures markets and see what happened lately. So that gold move, I think it still looks really good. We called out a 60-minute chart trade on a gold ETF, GLD, and an option contract. Oil cannot find a bottom, man. It is just dropping like a stone. And ES failed, didn't it, up here at the high, and now it's consolidating. So the only real big move here, the only good news out of the FOMC thing is the move here on gold. All right. Mark, looks like you got your hand up. If you want to type a question into the chat box there, I can address it. How do you subscribe? Here's a link. You guys see this link okay? Yeah, 30-day trial for 37 bucks. It's a pretty good deal. There's a link. I just typed it into the chat box. Okay, well, I'll hang here for a few minutes. I think we're pretty much done. But if you got any questions about the offer, about the trading room, how that all works, I'd be happy to take that. But that's the end of the planned presentation here. Thanks for showing up. I sure appreciate it. It was fun interacting with you. It was fun looking at your signals, symbols, and charts. And hey, trade safe. Be careful. They are out to get you. And take care. I'll be doing the guild trade. Yeah, I'm taking that in my own account. And the option, I reviewed that. The Gilead trade, guild, GLD, is the February 114 call. February 114 call on the GLD trade. Hey, you bet. All right, take care. Like I said, I'll stay for questions just about the offer in the trading room. If you're interested in that offer, I want to be able to help you out there. But that's the end of the material we had planned. Thank you.